Yeah, that's awesome, Kyle. Yeah, we met a few months ago, and we launched with AWS, in this latest iteration about 4.5 months ago, and I think since that time we've met a few times. We've had multiple calls, and I feel like I'm drinking from a fire hose. Everything happening within the ecosphere of the AWS marketplace. You've been a wealth of knowledge. Thank you for that. I want to acknowledge that. I also want to acknowledge what I've seen from your side, but also from some of our joint customers, and the value of getting launched in the marketplace, but then actually getting your first co-sell and driving more revenue, more sales through the marketplace. I've really heard great things for how Sugar helps expedite that, and just not only expedite, but just make it run smoother. So I love, this is great. I'm super excited to be with you today. So let's first take a step back, because not everybody still appreciates and understands the power of reviews and just peer-to-peer interactions going on in the buying cycle. That's not slowing down. It's only growing, actually, as the population of researchers, decision makers, economic buyers grows older and gets older. And the next generation kind of wave comes in, and this is kind of the use of buying. I think we've all heard some of the stats out there. 6 Sense says 80% of the research is done outside of sales and marketing. Here's a couple, one from Foundry, one from Gartner. IT decision makers, they rely on different pieces of content, product testing, reviews, and opinions. That's wanting to hear it from somebody just like your friend, just like you. That's 49% from Foundry. Gartner has many different stats that they'll put out, but interestingly enough, being an analyst firm, they still do put out that customer reviews and ratings are very much at the top of the type of content that software purchase decision makers are looking at as they're researching. We see that as well. I will tell you, has anybody heard of the whole thing of AEO, answer engine, and LLMs, and traffic across the internet dropping by 30% because we all just can ask ChatGPT, Proximity, or Gemini, Google? Well, guess what? What is the content that's feeding those answers? That's not a trick question. It's just the right one. It's the reviews. It's peer feedback. And power to that being, since we've launched 4.5 months ago, AWS Marketplace listings now are showing up. The reviews that we're pushing over there, and I'll show you, walk through that, are now showing up in the LLM answers. It's pretty wild to see how powerful reviews are. And I like to say, like, oh, it's not just us saying it, it's actually the buyers craving it, and the LLMs are feeding it right back to them.
That is wild, Andrew. We see, the other thing that we saw with the reviews is the decrease in the number of customer references people asked for, because they could go get it themselves, and they didn't have, because we know how customer references go. Everybody gives the friendly ones, right? So, I think the review process really opens that up to, it's not just a hand-given review type of thing. So
it's the back channel. It's the phone a friend. Yeah,
absolutely.
This is a little bit of just the scale on the PeerSpot side. So over 86,000 reviews, 80,000 product comparisons, side-by-side product comparisons, and it's almost hitting 900,000. So this number is now a little low, but it's almost 900,000 folks that are in our community that have written and talking about different products. And all of our reviews 100% validated, going and making sure they are the person who they are, not fake, not AI. A little bit more, just real quick, understand. So a review coming from PeerSpot is going to be different than what we've seen from other providers out in the marketplace. So we actually do something that's a little bit different. Since the beginning, 13 years ago, PeerSpot has always interviewed the buyer to capture the review. What that means is it didn't start out as a form fill. That allowed us to capture a lot more in-depth content, longer review, 10 times longer, to use strategic themes and custom questions. So it's not 3 questions, 4 questions. It's walking through a 5 to 7 minute conversation, either with a human or with an AI agent. And then The people that are on the site looking at reviews, this is sometimes a question that comes up. Well, are they really, in market? Are they really looking? Is it the right person? And just some of the recent stats that we have from some of the folks that have downloaded reports for leads on our site, 68% have budget now. That's 2/3 have budget now. 30% are ready to buy in the next 90 days, which is great, seeing as how long sales cycles are becoming lately. So why did the AWS marketplace, why do these reviews matter on the marketplace? We can do sales through the marketplace. People don't need to click and buy. We're working with the AWS sales team. Well, everything the marketplace team is doing is trying to expedite and grow sales and revenues quicker and faster. You'll see a lot of things changing on the procurement and the legal side to shorten those timeframes. They're also trying to change that on the buyer behavior. So some on the discovery, but a lot of like the verification process. So if you'll see right here, there's a few different bullets. So first one is marketplace is looking to enhance customer discovery and evaluation. Second bullet, these reviews help the potential buyers with reliable firsthand insights. They're not, and this is the trick to think about. They're not just living on your listings today. It's really interesting to see. So right now, as a member of the AWS Partner Network, PeerSpot's the sole provider of first-party reviews, buyer guides, and we also supply third-party reviews. Gershon will go in and show you a little bit of the difference in that. Now, these first-party reviews, where they're living on your listing, they actually also live and breathe in other places. So they also drive the star rating, the rankings, buyer guides, the AI sentiment and product comparisons, and get ready. There's you heard, let's see, at the sellers conference a few months ago, Matt Wise said, hey, you know what? There's going to be this AI recommendation thing that's going to be launching by the end of the year. I have it as good authority. I don't think anybody has seen anything out there, but I think there could be a pretty big launch happening at reInvent that we all will get to see if Matt Y has his way. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Gershon. He can walk through a little bit of this. And then I know Kyle has some ideas, just seeing as some of the conversations that he's had and seen out of the marketplace of how this plays into someone being able to ramp and scale.